pouco. Não sei porquê, mas eu tô pouco. Esse jogo é um nome complicado porque, se vocês não viram, é um nome complicado. What Remains of Edith Finch. Ah, é um jogo que tá de graça lá no PS Plus, tá ligado? É assim. Daí é bem estranho o joguinho que tem. Que descobri que as pessoas morreram, né? E coisas do tipo. Eu já descobri esses aqui. Que estão aí na tela. Falando. Daí onde tá escrito Léo e Zé, eles morreram ainda. A gente tem que descobrir pra já algo. Aí. Mas né. Aí. Como é que subia mesmo? É assim. Mas bora. Será que tem alguma coisa aqui que eu não achei? Com certeza. Ah, tá, achei, descobri. Deixa eu descer. Tá, entendi, velho, eu não tinha visto isso antes. Desce aí. Cadê? Vai. Sumiu? Ah, tá aqui. Sumiu, burro. Opa, quem é que tá comentando? Deixa eu dar uma olhada. Opa, foi mal aí. Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui que estão comentando aqui, velho. Que jogo é esse, Oceanic? Olha, o nome do jogo é meio complicado, tio. O nome do jogo é What Remains of Edith Finch. É meio difícil de escrever mesmo e falar. Ah, cara, é um jogo que tá de graça pra quem tem PS Plus. É mó irado, velho.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Beleza, vamos ver aqui o que tem que fazer. Abre aqui. Atravessar, velho. O que é que a gente vai descobrir agora?
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Caraca, igual a minha bola de pilates, é. Caramba. Aqui. Lewis Finch. Bora ver.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Tá porra, velho. Eu me sinto... Eita porra, que susto.
He kept working at the cannery.
Eu me sinto um simulator, velho.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
Meu Deus, que trabalho legal, hein?
His mind began to...
Sai daqui. Que é isso? Sai daqui. Deu. Somente começou o quê? Corta a mão. O que aconteceu?
Wander.
Ah, bom. Vai continuar por aqui.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats.
Morcegos.
And toads.
E sapos. Tá, não pode passar por aqui. Ah, por aqui. Tá,
And
porra,
things
velho,
that
que é
have
isso?
not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Nossa, velho. Não parei.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Cara, é muito complicado fazer duas coisas ao mesmo tempo, tio.
But he found
Aí foi.
something more.
Corta a cabecinha, agora joga pra lá. Pega aqui.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Acordado aqui na fábrica de conservas. Cara, tá muito frio aqui, mano, caramba.
I spoke with his boss,
O que aconteceu?
but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Ah, mano, mas é muito fácil, né? É só botar o peixe ali pra ser decapitado e ter. É esse o trabalho.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Ah, tô aqui.
I even encouraged him. He told me he'd made a new friend.
E aí, mano? Bora, peraí, só deixa eu ver uma coisa. Rapidão, rapidão, desculpa aí, gente. Beleza, beleza. Sem problema. Corta a cabeça, joga fora. Corta a cabeça, joga fora. Por aqui.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Exatamente.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Músicos, como se diz, velho? Cara, errei.
And songs for them to play.
Como é que ele morreu,
About
eu quero
starting a
saber.
band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Beleza. Tudo normal, né?
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Meu Deus, eu não consigo mexer aqui.
Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor,
Perfeito.
and he won.
Beleza, vou cabeça aqui.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Léo Estopia. Beleza, beleza.
Conquer a city,
beleza.
then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Caraca, o cara é bem louco, hein?
St. Louis.
Tudo
We
isso pra
started
trabalhar.
drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Aqui, ó. Quer.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Ah, mano, era pra escolher, eu não percebi. Que legal. Onde tá, Vivi?
The queen was on her own quest for
Eu quero ver coisa radiante, tio. Certo?
radiant rainbows.
Não, mano. Ai, isso foi.
He followed the sound of her.
Sua citada elétrica, ele seria.
Electric sitar.
Top, velho, top.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Meu Deus.
He knew the world was all in his
Caramba, velho. Meu
imagination.
Deus, para. Meu Deus, para. Para com isso. Meu Deus. Olha a rainha, velho. Well, acho que
But he
é
was
a
so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Caraca, que legal esse aí.
As someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Que louco. Eita, que cara feio.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Ah, estamos controlando ele. A gente ainda é rei, filho. What the fuck? Mas o que tem aqui? Dá pra interagir? Ah, tá, armário
Began
dele.
to forget the world we know.
Caraca, ele é drogado, tio. Ele é drogado, você é louco. Ele é drogado. Ele é drogado. Deixa eu falar uma coisa boa, né? Que vai dar certo.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Beleza. Peraí. Vou tirar uma foto. Deu. Então, o que é pra fazer aqui? Tá, mano, beleza. O que é pra fazer aqui? O que é pra fazer? O que é pra fazer? É pra interagir com a gente mesmo? Ei. Isso tá um pouco bugado. Ou será que é pra assistir? Acho que não. Beleza. Mas, tipo... O que é pra fazer? Peraí, eles cortam os salmões pra quê? Bem bizarro. Cadê, mano? O que que é aqui? É pra ir pra lá, né? Ah, como que eu sou burro, tio?
I still thought I could save him.
Nossa,
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Falou. Vou pela janela, tá? Tchau.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Sem rosto. É eu aqui, ó. Oi, beleza?
Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him.
Cadê o quê? Não sei se eu devo.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Okay.
Bend down his head.
Tá, mano, eu vou desver a cabeça.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Meu Deus, que horror. O cara ficou chapado. Porque era drogado. Daí enfiou. Ele pensou que tava no mundo da lua.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Daí, pá. Botou a cabeça e morreu. Okay.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Fica triste, hein, velho. Vamos ver aqui. Beleza, só falta 2 a Down e o Ed.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Tá bem.
I wish we'd stayed.
Que é isso?
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Sobe as escadas.
But it had to end one way or another. that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Bah. Peraí, vou botar.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Aqui é a saída da casa.
Or
Beleza.
that Edie had a key to it.
Entra aí.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Tá ensinando sobre a ela, a mãe e a avó.
There's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Até pra lá, é.
But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Ah, é a avó dela.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Eita.
I got turned around.
Tá bem, vamos voltar.
I started seeing things.
Eita.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Uma cama.
But when I saw them, they
No.
felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Você voltou para elas.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Tá aí.
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Olha que legal.
A few years went by.
Chacoalha, chacoalha, chacoalha.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Eita, pô, que susto.
The rest happened pretty quickly.
Ela ficou o quê?
She got better for a while. And then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Sim.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
Caramba.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Bye. Que é isso? Mano, eu descobri como é que ela morreu, velho. Mas tudo bem. Não queria saber o que a Dal morreu, velho. Um troféu aqui. Ah, mano, agora eu queria saber muito como é que é. Meu velho. Nossa, isso. Meu Deus, velho. Esse jogo. Também essa foi a live zerando esse jogo que se chama What Remains of Edith Finch. Então eu espero que vocês tenham gostado. É isso. Falou, né? Espero que vocês tenham gostado, né? Como sempre. E até a próxima. Falou!